I'm Stephanie Ruhle, live from MSNBC headquarters here in New York City, continuing our special coverage of the January 6th committee's second and dramatic primetime hearing, a hearing where we saw never-before-seen video and heard brand-new audio. And while Fox News decided not to air this national news, the committee showed the channel playing a lead role during the 187 minutes of what was described as Donald Trump's dereliction of duty on January 6th. We also heard testimony from two former White House insiders, Deputy National Security Advisor Matthew Pottinger and former Press Secretary Sarah Matthews. They both resigned shortly after the insurrection took place. The panel tonight focused on those 3+ hours between the time Donald Trump left the rally and when he sent out that tweet telling his supporters to go home, trying to make the case that Trump chose to allow his supporters to carry out that deadly assault on the Capitol.
On January 6th, when lives and our democracy hung in the balance, President Trump refused to act because of his selfish desire to stay in power.
President Trump did not fail to act during the 187 minutes between leaving the ellipse and telling the mob to go home. He chose not to act.
One of the committee's key points, Donald Trump knew the Capitol was under siege 15 minutes after he left the rally, yet made no effort to stop the violence.
At 1:25, President Trump went to the private dining room off the Oval Office. From 1:25 until 4 o'clock, the president stayed in his dining room. The dining room is connected to the Oval Office by a short hallway. Witnesses told us that on January 6th, President Trump sat in his usual spot, at the head of the table, facing a television hanging on the wall.
It would take probably less than 60 seconds from the Oval Office dining room over to the press briefing room. If he had wanted to make an address from the Oval Office, we could have assembled the White House press corps probably in a matter of minutes.
And there was still more evidence that as the riot descended into violence, Trump called absolutely no one to stop it.
So are you aware of any phone call by the President of the United States to the Secretary of Defense that day?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Are you aware of any phone call by the President of the United States to the Attorney General of the United States that day?
No.
Are you aware of any phone call by the President of the United States to the Secretary of Homeland Security that day?
I'm not aware of that, no.
Did you ever hear the President
No.
ask for the National Guard? Did you ever hear the President ask for law enforcement response?
No.
So as somebody who works in the national security space and with the National Security Council, if there were going to be troops present or called up for a rally in Washington, D.C., for example, is that something that you would have been aware of?
Yeah, I would have.
Do you know if you asked anybody to reach out to any of those that we just listed off? National Guard, DOD, FBI, Homeland Security, Secret Service, Mayor Bowser, the Capitol Police, about the situation in the Capitol?
I am not aware of any of those requests. No, sir.
Trump's White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, who you saw just there, told the committee that he and others, including President Trump's daughter, Ivanka, tried to convince him to do more than that tweet.
So your advice was tell people to leave the Capitol, and it took over 2 hours when there were subsequent statements made, tweets put forth that in your view were insufficient. Did you continue, Mr. Cipollone, throughout the period of time up until 4/17, continue, you and others, to push for a stronger statement?
Yes.
Were you joined in that effort by Ivanka Trump?
Yes.
Eric Hershey?
Yes.
By Mark Meadows?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. We also learned what the Secret Service was dealing with as agents tried to protect Mike Pence from the mob.
Take the building. Hold.
Open that door up. If we're moving, we need to move now.
Copy.
If we lose any more time, we may lose the ability to leave. So if we're going to leave, we need to do it now.
They've gained access to the second floor, and I've got public about 5 feet from me down here below.
Okay, copy. They are on the second floor, moving in now. We may want to consider getting out and leaving now. Copy.
Will we encounter the people once we make our way?
Repeat.
Encounter any individuals if we made our way to the.
There's 6 officers between us and the people that are 5 to 10 feet away from me.
Stand by, I'm going down to evaluate.
Go ahead.
We have a clear shot if we move quickly. We got smoke downstairs set by, unknown smoke set downstairs by the protesters.
Is that route compromised?
We have this is secure. However, we will bypass some protesters that are being contained. There is smoke, unknown what kind of smoke it is. Copy.
Clear, we're coming out now, all right? Make a way.
Another witness for the committee described the potential danger Mike Pence and his team were physically in, and this was remarkable to hear.
The members of the VP detail at this time were starting to fear for their own lives. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of very personal calls over the radio. So it was disturbing. I don't like talking about it, but there were calls to say goodbye to family members, so on and so forth. They're running out of options, and they're getting nervous. It sounds like that we came very close to either service having to use lethal options or worse.
Trump eventually made a video tweet late on the afternoon of January 6th, telling the rioters, he loved them, but to go home. But the next day, in never-before-seen outtakes of a video condemning the riot, the former president just could not bring himself to tell the truth and say the election was over.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack yesterday, and to those who broke the law, you will pay. You do not represent our movement, you do not represent our country, and if you broke the law, you can't say that. I'm not going. I already said you will pay. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defied the seat of justice. It's defiled, right? See, I can't see it very well. Okay, I'll do this. I'm going to do this. Let's go. But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over. I just want to say Congress has certified the results without saying the election's over, okay?
He wouldn't say the election was over then, and he is still not saying it now, pushing the big lie. The committee also revealed this latest hearing will not be the last. More hearings are coming in September, just weeks before this country holds its midterm elections.